This is just a quick addition before the actual video starts. So everything in the video still applies, but there's now a slightly delayed timeline on it because yesterday I went for a run and couldn't really walk for the rest of the day afterwards. It might be a really bad stone bruise. It might be plantar fasciitis. Not sure yet. I'm gonna approach it as though it's either, because the treatment is kind of similar, and then I guess I'll update on that. But anyway, so the video still applies. This is just me saying I've got an injury that is entirely my own fault because I just ignored it for months. So if your heel hurts, don't ignore it for months. That's my professional advice. Okay, on with the video. Hello beans, it's been a while. All right, there's quite a lot to talk about really. And I'll try not to ramble, but I can't really make you any promises on that front. Okay, I'm doing fine, doing all right. I was pretty depressed after Saddleworth, but not because of the DNF. Process that, that's all packaged and dealt with. I had a bunch of pretty big racing goals set out for the rest of the year. And I think I just got completely overwhelmed with the idea of having to do any more serious structured training builds this year. It was crushing, emotionally crushing me. So I have cancelled all my serious racing plans for the rest of the year. And now I feel a lot happier. So I've come to the conclusion that I just don't know how to be competitive in like a healthy way. I spiral, I get very obsessive, and things get bad quite quickly because I'm not living up to ridiculous expectations that I've set myself. And I don't know how to rein it in when it starts happening. So I think the plan going forward for the foreseeable future will be that I will have one race a year that I will do a serious structured training build for. And it'll be a longer race. So I'll have like a 16-week training block that I go at and do seriously. And then everything else is just racing for fun. That's the plan. So I have lots of races planned for this year, but I'm not doing any of them seriously. I'm just going to take them all pretty steady and enjoy myself and try to learn the words. I was making myself miserable. I was not in a good space post Saddleworth, and really in the lead up I was really struggling with that training block. It was such a mental drain, and the idea of having to go into another, because I was going to be racing Duddon Valley, having to go almost immediately into another training block was terrifying. So I decided I wasn't going to do Duddon. Right, that took a little bit of pressure off. But even when I was thinking ahead, I was going to do Sedbergh Hills in August. And even that, like the idea of doing a training block for that was just like, I couldn't even, I was already like anxious and depressed about doing that. So that's not good. That's not healthy. For like my hobby, that shouldn't really be the kind of mental state that I'm getting myself into over my hobby. Because it is my hobby. I'm not that good at running. So it's never going to be something that I'm going to do professionally in like an athletic capacity. I think also it's just a balance between my kind of personal exploits and my professional exploits, because I am a strength coach and my primary focus is sort of injury prevention for runners and endurance athletes, and it's odd, it's a bit tricky to balance. I find it tricky to balance trying to be serious for myself and concentrate on other people's training and be serious for them. Like I do strength coaching for people in person in Sheffield, and I do online coaching. And when you're kind of thinking about other people's goals and planning their long-term goals, and then also trying to do like serious long-term goals for yourself, it's a difficult mental balance, or I've found it quite difficult anyway. So I think I just need to ease off on my end and give myself some breathing room, and then I'll probably be a better coach for it, because I won't be weighed down by my own crap all the time. But that's what we're going to try, see how it goes. Regular strength training's back on track, and I've been enjoying lifting heavy stuff again, so that's been good. I had a really good squat session this morning, actually. I've been historically had a little bit of trouble with feeling quite scared of squatting heavy and doing like a deep squat. But yeah, I pretty much went to like full squat depth with 60 kilograms for 5 reps this morning, so that felt really good. And I don't know where that confidence came from, but I had it on back squats and front squats as well. So that was really nice, that felt good. And strength training generally has been feeling pretty good. So essentially the aim is to have a consistent training schedule. So I'm getting my strength training in regularly. I'm going to build back up to about 60 kilometers of running a week, because I feel like that's a sustainable level that I can handle kind of as a consistent base. But we'll see, this is going to be a little bit of experiment. I would like to keep running at a consistent pace. I would like to have a long run each week. I would like to have a couple of workouts each week, like a hill rep session and a tempo run or something like that. I would like to keep that as a consistent thing, because I would like to optimize the amount of fun that I'm able to have when I go out into the peaks, or if I want to go on like a long weekend to the Lake District or whatever. I don't want fitness to be any kind of impediment to having really good adventures. So that's where all the training is going to be geared towards, is just making sure that when I am out and about, that I can make the most of it. And I am entered into a lot of local races, so there's going to be a significant element of, again, just making sure I can have as much fun as possible when I'm doing the local races as well. Like, I still want to race well and like race hard, but I just need to relearn how to enjoy it, rather than feel like every single race is some kind of like place where I have to prove myself. Because I don't even know who I'm proving myself to. Like, who really gives a shit how well I do in a race, really? I'm just getting myself so weighed down with this strange nebulous shadow of like some collection of people who care deeply about how well I perform in races and will be amazingly disappointed in me if I do badly, when that doesn't exist. It's not there, it's all in my head, and I'm imagining things. So I just need to learn how to back off a bit and enjoy myself. As kind of part of that, at the moment I've decided I'm not renewing my club membership for Dark Peak for 2024. I might change my mind on that, but just having made that decision seems to have helped a little bit as well. Like, Dark Peak are a inclusive, welcoming club, but for whatever reason, if I'm racing in the Dark Peak vest, I feel like I am just a massive disappointment if I don't place well in races. I feel like I'm supposed to be living up to some kind of like expectation, because Dark Peak's such a well-known club, and I'm not that fast. Like, I'm not a quick runner, really. I'm middle of the pack at best. So I think having decided that I'm not going to renew my membership for 2024 has taken some mental pressure off. But if the rest of this year goes well and I am able to like get my head under control, then I might continue being a member. The plan will always be to return later, but I think I just need some time like away from being in a big serious club. I might join like a smaller, one of the other local clubs that's just a lot smaller instead, just to kind of get things back under control. But that's the plan at the moment, and we'll see how things go. It's also just trying to have space in the schedule to do like things that aren't running as well. If I'm just chaining between like long training blocks for big races, it just leaves so much less time for doing like more bouldering stuff, or swimming. I want to do more swimming, and it's very difficult to do that if you're just running all the fucking time. And getting a little bit of parkour in from time to time as well, like that would be really nice to do that again, because I do miss doing that. I just wasn't able to for 4 months because I was training for a marathon. But if I'm doing like big races like that all through the year, it just means that there's no room for anything else. And I don't cope very well with that. I think my happiness does kind of rely on variety to some extent. So that's another thing. I just want to do other things that aren't running. And I want to get my running to a point that I can hold that sustainably while also doing other things and having time to do other things. And I think that will lead to much healthier balance overall. Okay, I feel like that's probably enough rambling for now. It was just a little update for those of you who are interested in my general whereabouts and well-being. I do have some video ideas for this year. I've set myself little challenges where I'm going to try and do a thing each day for 30 days. And I think I will share the video content I get from those as a kind of little compilation and why I did it and why that particular activity was chosen. So that's one thing I'm probably going to do a bit more often, just try and have a little bit of fun on the YouTube side of things, so it's just not all entirely about running. Yeah, I don't have a lot else to say, so I think that'll probably do for today. I will hopefully be back soon with something. I'm not sure what, but when it appears, it'll appear, and I will catch you next time.